All right. We finally got a break in the weather here in central North Carolina. It has been 100 and hell degrees for the last week, and there was just no way. The time slots that I had available to come out here, it was always peak heat. So it's about, what, 72 degrees this morning. It's nice. I got my buddy Jimmy out here. He's a one-sticker. I'm going to review this Panther quick climb platform. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to cover before I just start get climbing. I got one of the things I will go ahead and review real quick is the Panther quick climb rope bag. Now you look at it, like I said before, it just looks like any old rope bag, but it's got a magnet on there, and I do have the clip on back there, so when you wrap it around the tree, and I'll demonstrate that, you can just clip it right to your little magnetic clip and go up. I'm not running it that way because I like to wear my saddle in. When I leave the truck, I'm wearing everything and I'm ready to hit the bottom of the tree and get right to work. So what I found for me is I keep it inside of my pouch, and Latitude makes a dump pouch that fits this rope bag perfectly. And the reason why I am going to run it is because when I get to the tree, I can just pull that whole 30-foot rope out, wrap it around the tree, pass the whole bag through, and then stick it in. It works out pretty good. So again, I've got the quick climb attached to the XOP striker bag. I know in the last video I couldn't remember what it was called. It's a striker bag, and we're going to go ahead and get up on that tree and get to reviewing this platform. All right, so this is the tree we're going to be using right here. And just to go ahead and show you why I'm running the bag the way I am. It's got a little pocket here. You got a 15-inch eye, so if you order your rope and you want it pre-tied, factory sewn, you go ahead and just get it sewn in. And you can wrap this around there, throw it up, bring that bag right through, and then you can stick this back in. For demonstration purposes today, since I'm going to be demonstrating, I'm just going to leave it on the ground, and I'm going to run this rope up and then girth hitch it. A lot of times I like to use the JRB cinch. If I am going to have branches I'm going to have to get over, and that way I don't have to run the rope back through and move it over the branch, or I don't have to mess with a secondary tether. I can just unclip that JRB cinch, the carabiner. You can watch JRB tree climbing video on how to construct that, but then I can just wrap it around and put the carabiner in, and I can go up. So there we go. Of course, if you watch any of my other videos, you know that I like to use a modified pole. It's a painter's pole. I got this idea again from JRB Tree Climbing. He actually sells one, and it's called a Maverick Stick. And I believe it's a 6-foot pole system. This is actually an 8-foot pole. So I am able to, actually, I should probably put that on the other side, huh? Once you get your slack, you can just wiggle this. And you can do this as quietly as you want. We're not in a hunting situation, so I'm not too worried about the noise, but it's really not making any noise. You even hear that, Jimmy?
Barely.
We're not getting any bark noise. All right. And then cinch that to your tree. And you can get it on the other side of the rope, and you can mess with it and get your girth hitch on the side that you're going to be hunting. So that's how I will initially deploy my rope up the tree. I can usually get it up about 16 feet. I think I only probably got it about 12 feet on that one because we're not going to be going all the way up. And once I get up to height, I probably am going to demonstrate the way this system is designed to be used by the people that designed it, and they like to lift the rope as they climb. This is just to get me started and to demonstrate again how I'm going to do it in a real hunt situation. All right, once I got my rope set, 12, 14 feet, I like to get it up around 16 feet if I can. With the JRB cinch, it makes it a lot easier. I'll just unclip. And this is the first time I've actually used this. I have not even had a chance to. And the one good thing about it is when you're adjusting your thing, you just pull this out and it will find the hole. So you just pull that out and start pushing until it clicks. That's pretty cool. Now, in a hunt situation, I would probably be a little bit more quiet with that and just kind of manually do it. But out here, just to demonstrate it so you can hear it again. And you can imagine that's what's going to make it a lot easier if you end up in a situation and you got too much angle. You just have to pull one of those out and just kind of push down until it clicks. So I really like this tree strap too because, well, I should have done it on the other side. But it kind of, you know, you ain't got to play with it. On some of them, you got to reach for it or you got to sling it around. This one here, it just kind of finds you, comes looking for you. Wait, let me take the aider out. I'm not used to having an aider just connected to it. Okay. Again, just pulling out that and letting it find its home and leaving it on the tree. And there you go. So that's obviously not angled enough. So we're going to angle it more. And the good thing about this too is it comes with the 3-step aider. So you can go ahead and get it set. I'd like to get it to where it's about right there and get it set. And now we're ready to get our Mad Rock out and hook up. Okay, so I got it down a little lower so I can simulate. One of the things I said I wasn't going to do with this system when I reviewed it was add anything to it. I want to review it as is, but I went ahead and I added this bungee cord. I don't really need it, I guess. I can go up underneath there and use that, or I can get my feet inside of here like I'll demonstrate, and I can wrap that around. And that's just going to keep the platform more stuck to my feet as I climb, or if I got to go over branches. So now that we've got it in, I've got the aider deployed. I don't know how I feel about the aider, honestly. I think I would rather just jump right on this thing because it is so stout and this is so rigid that I can pull it up the tree and it's easy to adjust, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, let's see here. Get my bridge adjusted, make sure everything's good. The one thing about the aiders being on this part of the platform too is you have a tendency to want to put your foot up against the tree like you're supposed to do with an aider, but being that these are out, look at these little clips right here. This is what they got the aider. And so if you want to take it off, you're going to have to deploy a screw. So we'll see how that holds up. I mean, it looks like it's pretty stout. It's a good weld. So let's get up there. So using my rope, I'm just going to climb up, and as I'm getting there, I'm going to keep tension on my rope like you do. And as you go up, you can stuff rope if you don't want it hanging. It's not really a big concern of mine because I'll just stuff it whenever I get up there. All right. So moving down, I'm coming down here. Let me see how I feel about that with that right there. See, without big boots on, with these like littler Huck boots, it's a little bit, I got a lot of room in my toes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that right there. Now that thing's just going to stay stuck to my feet. And then just like a climbing platform, you're going to come up. Oh, wait. That's a snafu. I would say that's the only bad thing right there is that cam's going to come up. So maybe that won't work. But you're going to climb.
You can put that cordage around it.
Yeah, probably just put it right over top of it. But it's just one more thing to mess with. This is actually a very quiet system because of this wide band and the fact that it stays rigid, it doesn't catch on the bark. You can really get it out. I mean, you can really just get it out away from the tree and not have any noise. So that is actually very quiet. Okay, so when I get to my rope here, the way this thing is designed to be used, or the way they use it at Panther, is they'll go ahead and let some slack out of their rappel device, and then they will go ahead and lift this rope. Tighten it down. Give it a sit. I like to give it like 2 or 3 I can get a little higher and just lift. And you can do this as high as you can reach, as high as you want to go. What I would do, of course, is I would leave my modified Maverick pole. I would leave it hooked up here, so when I stood up, I give it some slack. Probably as I got higher, I keep a lineman's belt. I'd go ahead and secure myself with a lineman's belt, so I'm somewhat secure to the tree as I lift it up. But I think as we get to that notch right there, we're at about 15 feet. So from there to about halfway to the next one is about where my target would be, about 16 to 18 feet, unless I'm in the middle of an opening and I need to get higher. But typically, I got good cover around me. I am going to, I'm only going to go about 16, 18 feet. All right. And once you're up, of course, you deploy your cam, which I'll come down and we'll do at ground level just to demonstrate. But I'm going to tell you, I like it. Okay, when it's time to come down, I'm going to take my little system here, which I have one on my backpack, where I'll have my backpack on, and I will go, which is on the right side, but I'll go ahead and I'll connect to my rope on the loop side. So when I get down to the ground, you can pull this away. This is just a modified dog leash. So as I go down, it'll extract, and as that rope comes down, it'll automatically wind itself up. This is my gear lift, my gear hoist. My rope retrieval system is built into my bag, and that just eliminates having to wrap up rope, deal with knots and all that. So maybe it shaves about 15 seconds off of the total hunt, which is not too shabby. Time to come down. Of course, you've undone your cam. You're ready to go. And go ahead and let that hang. And you just take the elevator. I can see that bungee cord may not be a good idea. All right, so simulating that we are at hunting height, we're going to go ahead and reach down and pull up that cam post. And just like any platform that you have used, you're going to wrap your cam buckle, cam strap, whatever you want to call it, around the tree on your Versa button, and you want to keep the strap above the tree strap, the rubber tree strap there. I don't know the science behind that. That's just how they recommend doing it, so that's what we're going to do, and then get it tight. And I like to give these things, wrap my hand around it, and that will cinch that thing down banjo tight. And then come up. Now the way they do it, I have not tried it, and it's probably the best way, because on another platform, you would traditionally stand on this and then lift this up, but this does not flex. It doesn't bend. So what they do is they lift their feet up, bring the platform down, and then boom, you are locked in there. You're good to go. I'm gonna tell you all right away, sacrificing that little bit of bulk that I know a lot of people are concerned with about it being so wide, having, and because it doesn't collapse, having those footrests right there. I'm sitting in a sit position if I have my thing, and my knees are not up against the tree, whereas usually you're sitting like this and you got your knee pads or your tree pad. There is a lot of comfort on this. I can see a bunch of different ways. And one of the features, if you want to zoom in over here, is this circle in the middle, and that's for just comfort. And that is a really, I mean, I tell you, you got a lot of comfort items on this. I'm just sitting here. Now, I will run a ring of steps on any platform, just so when I get out here, I got something that I can put my foot on and I can go around the tree I like to sit out like this, depending if the deer's coming from that way. I want to be behind the tree. I think that's the whole point is concealment. But I'm gonna tell you, that thing is cammed in there. That ain't going nowhere. All right, so one of the things that I notice when I'm climbing with this thing, and when you touch it, is it is very sturdy. It kind of answers the question that I get a lot from bigger guys on what they'll say, well, yeah, well, what about a guy like me? I'm 220, 230. It seems kind of janky. Well, this thing is very, very solid. I mean, everything about it is solid. It's probably the reason why and I don't know this to be a fact. Don't quote me or think I'm telling you anything. It's probably why they didn't go with the movable tree strap arm tubes. I don't know what they call them, but these things are welded in there really good. It's solid. It cams to the tree real good. I don't have it cammed in right now. I don't know how much weight it would take to break one of these tree straps, but I did watch a video where they put it on a truck winch, and I think what they get, you remember what they got, Jim?
Not off the top of my head.
It was like, I don't know, it was well over 300 pounds before this thing even broke. It might have been 1,000 pounds, but I don't know. I can't remember. These things right here are the only part of this system that might give me any cause for longevity would be these pull-out tabs. Because they're spring-loaded, they might get rusted. You know what I mean? I don't know if they've ever got to be replaced. I don't know.
See how they do in weather.
Yeah, how they do in prolonged. Like, it's brand new right now, so it's working pretty good. I don't know how. Like I said, they may be very easily replaceable. I see 2 screws right here. As far as the safety of it, I feel pretty good about it for a guy like me. But yeah, man, I love the circle ring. I like the cam post. I like how solid it is. I like that it comes with the aider. Everything about it is just good. And I would also say that if you're a guy that's coming from stick climbing, I'm not talking to you guys because I know you guys are all invested and worship them sticks. So I'm not really trying to get people to come over from that. But guys that are hunting climbers that don't like the sticks and you're coming straight from a summit climber situation, this one is going to be perfect for you because it's nice and stout, it's nice and wide. It would probably be about the only thing that I don't like about it is that it is wide. Not saying that I'm not going to run it. I'm going to use the shit out of this thing. I would say that this would be more in a situation where I know where I'm going. Like, for instance, Fort Bragg, where we hunt. I got areas that I like to hunt. I've hunted them for years. I know what trees are in there. I'm probably going to deploy this one when I know I'm not going to be walking around looking for a tree. I'm not walking a mile. Maybe at best I'm doing a quarter mile to a half a mile. I know my area, and from there I can kind of decide what tree I'm going to get into. This is I guess I should have, and when I do the video, I'll put it up here. The strap that comes with it, this tree strap. Do you remember? Didn't you email him about the strap?
Yeah, they have. So the bands that are around the tree, they have 2 different sizes.
Uh-huh.
I forget what sizes. I'll have to look
Yeah,
it up in a minute.
Was it like 22 and 16, or this one is like for
Yeah, they got a
16?
52-inch and I think a 60
Yeah.
or something like that.
So I'll put it on the screen. I'll verify that. But you can order if you're worried about getting around a larger tree. They do offer a larger band, but the band here, I don't know. I just Our environment here, we just don't have those trees that branch from 4 feet off the ground, and I've never really wanted to climb a tree that was really, really, really big. I'm always wanting to get in a tree about this size or smaller. Let's see here. Yeah, types of bands, 52 inches, that comes with it, standard, and will go from 9 to 18 inches in diameter. The 60-inch strap, which will be in stock late next week. This was last week, this email, 9 to 21. So there you go. You've got 2 band options if you're worried about that. One of the good things about the band too, though, I tried when I was trying to come up with ways to carry it. I took the band out, trying to carry it without the band in it, and I put it in my backpack, and it kind of helped keep it
Oh, the
like,
rigidity of
yeah,
it.
rigid. So when I open up the top, it's, I ain't got to dig through stuff. It's almost like a bucket. So if I had an extra strap, if I thought I was going to need it, or I was going to run the larger one, I would keep this in my bag just as a backup, or the larger one. But I mean, this will go out pretty big. I mean, on a pretty big tree.
Yeah, having that extra band would be nice though,
It would.
especially as a backup, or like some of the places that I hunt out here,
Yeah.
they don't have like all these little like pencil sized trees. It's a lot larger trees.
Yeah. I just, I guess just how many years I ran a summit climber, I just kind of put the tree on what a summit would go on. I never really looked at it. But yeah, having another couple inches on there, because this is as far as it'll go out. And I don't know what the circumference of that tree is.
A little bit about the size, a little bit bigger than a basketball probably.
Yeah. So you
About your
got some room
recommended
back
size
there.
for a standard climber.
And let's say you got up in a situation to where you got to your tree. Let me take this cam post off. If you got in a situation where you got up in the tree and your platform was angled like that and you didn't want it like that, I know a lot of platform guys like them like that. And you cammed it in. Before you cammed it in, it's really easy to just kind of lift up on this thing and pull that tab. And once you pull that locker out, like I said before, it'll just find a hole. That's probably why they don't have an adjustment screw here. Most platforms have an adjustment screw there. So if it's too far up, you can loosen it,
Yeah.
but this one doesn't have it, probably because that system right there. All right, that's my review of it for right now. I'm gonna let Jimmy get up in this thing. Jimmy, you're coming to the camera here. Jimmy, you're about 235, 240, you
240,
said.
240. So
So
I'm a bigger boy.
I mean, I'm 100, and well, I'm probably about 195 now because I ain't been dieting. But he's gonna get in there and run this thing, and I'm gonna film it. All right, thanks for watching. I'm sure I will have more videos on the Panther, the Osprey, the broadside when I get it as I go. What you saw today was an actual first time with this system. It's not my first time with a climbing platform, obviously, but it was the first time deploying this system. So there are things that you will learn about any system you're deploying, whether they're manufacturer specified or they are your own little modifications, which I think if you're into mobile hunting, modifying is just kind of the name of the game. I try to do as little of it as possible. One of the things here that I did, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did it for the review, is I put that bungee cord on there. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if I recommend that. And I think that the guys who designed this probably thought about that, and that's why it doesn't come with one. It does work. Don't get me wrong, but I forget about it being there. So there, and it does stay out of your way. It doesn't make any noise. It wasn't very helpful. It needs to stay up like that so you can just hook your heel into it. And honestly, those stirrups are good enough. So I'm going to take that off. But I got to cut it off because I got it zip tied. As far as the overall system, the only thing that I will say about this system that I would like to see in the future, because I know these guys are going to be successful and profitable, is a smaller version. Okay. A lot of guys don't care, and I don't care. I'm going to run this system. I'm going to use the hell out of it. Like I said, it's got a lot of great features like that circle right there. Just putting your feet in there when you're cocked off to the side and kind of swinging around. One of the things that I don't like about it is one of the things that's actually good about it, if that makes sense. I would like to see these actually collapse down so you can flatten it out just for packability. But it still packs, like if you saw my packability video, it still packs very nicely. It's still very light. And these things do come in handy because they're so solid. When you're in like a chair position and you've got your feet on that, it takes so much stress off your back and knees, and you're not up against a tree like you normally would be. So that is a plus. Um, as far as these right here, this was the only concern I think either me or OneStik Jimmy had. Uh, is the longevity of those. The safety, that's a thick pin that's in there. So, and like I said, go look at their video when they put this thing on a truck winch to see how long it would take for it to break. And it was a lot. It was more pounds than two people are going to weigh. So as far as the safety and it being solid, I mean, no issues there. It's mobile, yes. Is it as mobile as other systems? No, but I think this was more designed um, well, I won't say I won't speak for them and why it was done. I'll tell you where I would use it. Like I said in the video, I would be running this in a system where I kind of knew where I was going. I know I'm not walking over a mile, maybe a quarter or a half a mile. I know my area, and depending on where the wind is blowing and the thermals are going, is where I need to get in that section. And I know in my environment, where I'm going, this would be my go-to. If I'm going to be in a freestyle situation, like if I go to Archery or somewhere like that where I've never been and we're just studying topographical maps and this looks like a good funnel here and I know I'm going to be walking, maybe even a whole day of walking, I'm probably going to go with a lighter version, either my Lone Wolf or the Osprey for that reason. But most people that I know that are hunting climbers, and you want to transition to a saddle, this is going to be a good bet for you. Because again, it is very packable. It's better than that Summit that I still keep. People keep asking me that. Why not just run a Summit? I should do a video on that, on why you would run this other. But anyway, I digress. Good system. I look forward to hunting with it. I'm going to climb with it more. Same with the Osprey and the other platform systems I have. Like I said, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. You'll see me fumble around a little bit in that video. It goes in the war chest and it don't happen again. But you can get one of these if you're curious. Go to Panther Platforms. I'm going to put it up here. I think it's pantherplatforms.com. I'm not exactly sure. Their customer service is good. Seth will respond right to you typically. And like most companies, it seems like a family-run small business at the time, just like Osprey. You're getting good customer service, until they blow up and sell 1 billion of these things, and then they're too good to talk to us. But this thing, as far as it being, it's a little heavier than the other systems that I run, but it's still light enough, I mean, to flip up and down with just your wrist. So it's a good system. Check it out.